You slept 8 hours last night, maybe more. You didn't run a marathon. You didn't work in a coal mine. Most of your day was sitting down. And yet by 2 p.m., you're exhausted again, reaching for caffeine just to feel normal. Here's the strange part. You're not lazy and you're probably not sick. You're tired for reasons that have almost nothing to do with sleep. And once you understand them, the exhaustion finally makes sense. To see why, you have to start with a contradiction that should make no sense. Surveys keep finding that a huge share of adults report feeling tired most days. And this is happening in the safest, most comfortable, most convenience-filled era in human history. Our ancestors hunted, walked for miles, hauled water, and raised children without machines. You have a device for nearly every physical task that used to drain a body. By every logic of effort, you should be the most well-rested human who has ever lived. Instead, you're tired in a way that sleep keeps failing to fix. And that contradiction is the whole mystery. The first clue is that we've been measuring the wrong thing. When you think about being rested, you think about hours. Did I get my 8? But hours are only the quantity of sleep. They tell you almost nothing about the quality. You can lie in bed unconscious for 9 hours and still wake up wrecked, because what actually restores you isn't time in bed. It's how much of that time you spend in the deep stages of sleep, the ones where your body and brain do their real repair work. And in the modern world, those deep stages are quietly being stolen from you. The biggest thief is light. For almost all of human history, the day ended when the sun went down. Darkness was the signal. It told your brain to release melatonin, the hormone that pulls you down into deep, restorative sleep. But you no longer live in darkness. After sunset, you sit under bright artificial light and you stare into a screen a few inches from your face, a screen that pumps out the exact blue wavelengths your brain reads as daylight. So at 11 p.m., your body thinks it's noon. Melatonin gets delayed. The deep sleep gets pushed back and cut short. You technically slept, but you barely rested. Your brain spent the night in the shallow end. But light is only the first layer. Because even if you fixed your sleep completely, there's a second kind of exhaustion that sleep was never designed to touch. Think about what your nervous system evolved for. For your ancestors, stress was a switch. A predator appeared, the body flooded with adrenaline and cortisol. You ran or you fought, and then, crucially, it was over. The threat passed, the chemicals cleared, and the body dropped back into calm. Stress was rare, sharp, and short. The off switch always came. Now look at your day. A stressful email at 9 a.m. A notification that spikes your pulse at 10. The news, your bank balance, a deadline humming in the background of everything. None of these are predators, but your body can't fully tell the difference. It treats each one as a small threat, releasing a little stress chemistry, and then never quite getting the all clear to switch off. You spend much of your day in a low, simmering state of alert that never fully releases. Your ancestors sprinted from the lion and then rested. You're being chased by 100 tiny lions that never actually leave, and your body never gets to come down. That's exhausting in a way no amount of sleep can repair, because the problem isn't that you didn't rest, it's that you were never allowed to stop bracing. And there may be a third drain, one that's almost invisible. Your brain burns energy when you concentrate and make choices, and modern life asks you to make a staggering number of them. What to wear, what to eat, which of 40 messages to answer, which of 1,000 things on a screen to look at next. Researchers have described something called decision fatigue, the idea that as choices pile up through the day, your mental sharpness wears down and a kind of tiredness sets in even if your body never moved. It's worth being honest that scientists still debate how strong this effect really is. But whatever you call it, the felt experience is familiar to almost everyone. By evening, the part of you that decides and focuses is simply worn thin. Your great-grandparents moved through a smaller, slower, more repetitive world, and that monotony, which sounds boring, was also restful. You're running a mental workload no human brain evolved to carry all day, and it doesn't show up as a sore muscle. It shows up as a fog you can't explain. And then there's the thing you reach for to fix all of this, which quietly makes it worse. Caffeine. When you're tired, a chemical called adenosine has been building up in your brain all day. It's part of how your body keeps track of how long you've been awake and tells you it's time to rest. Caffeine works by blocking that signal. It doesn't give you energy, it just hides the tiredness, like putting tape over a warning light. And here's the trap: caffeine lingers. Its half life is around 5 to 6 hours, which means the coffee you drink at 2 p.m. still has a quarter of its caffeine circulating in your brain near midnight, quietly blocking the deep sleep you desperately need. So you sleep worse, wake up more tired, and reach for more caffeine to cover it, which wrecks the next night too. The thing you use to fight the exhaustion is feeding it. You're not escaping the tiredness, you're borrowing against it. So now you can see what's really happening. Stack it together. Your deep sleep is cut short by light and screens, so the rest you do get is thinner than it should be. Your nervous system is stuck in a low-grade alert it never evolved to hold for 16 hours straight. Your mind is grinding through more decisions and stimulation than any ancestor ever faced, and the caffeine you lean on to push through is sabotaging the very sleep that might have saved you. You're not tired from one thing. You're tired from a modern life that attacks rest from every direction at once, while the one fix everyone offers, just sleep more, only touches the smallest part of it. This is why the tiredness feels so confusing. You keep looking for a medical reason, a deficiency, a disorder, because surely something must be wrong with you to feel this drained while doing so little. But for most people, nothing is wrong with the body at all. The body is working exactly as designed. It's the environment that changed. You took a nervous system built for a quiet world of darkness, scarcity, and long stretches of nothing, and dropped it into a world of endless light, endless input, and endless low-grade stress that never switches off. Of course it's tired. It's doing something it was never built to do, without a single real break for your entire waking life. And here's the part that actually matters. If the exhaustion isn't really about sleep, then more sleep was never going to cure it. What your body is starving for isn't unconsciousness. It's recovery. And those are not the same thing. Recovery is the darkness your eyes haven't truly seen in years. It's an hour where nothing beeps and no decision is required. It's the boredom you've been trained to flee, the empty stretch of time where your nervous system finally gets the signal that there is no lion, nothing to answer, nowhere to be. Your ancestors had that built into every single day. You have to deliberately carve it out because nothing in modern life will hand it to you. So the next time you're exhausted at 2 p.m. after a full night's sleep, and you reach for another coffee and wonder what's wrong with you, maybe nothing is. Maybe you're not broken, and you don't need more sleep. Maybe your body is just asking for the one thing the modern world almost never lets it have. Not more hours unconscious. A few real moments of being genuinely, completely off.